Hello Transformers fans, hope you're all doing alright in these trying times, hope your Animal Crossing village is thriving and all your craft projects are going to plan. My name's Cybertron Bob and you join me today on my lovely pink sofa to look at this guy, War for Cybertron Siege Deluxe Class Barricade. Now I don't know about you, but I'm the kind of Transformers fan who really loves it when bots from one media pop up in a different one, and I was certainly excited to see this guy and I've been waiting for him ever since 2007. But more than that, I've been waiting for him since Guido Guidi showed us that fantastic piece of concept art a few years back. Barricade's a character that deserves a little generation style love. Sure, he's spent some time in the War for Cybertron video games a couple console generations back, and some time in the pages of IDW, but that's not exactly a mainline toy, is it? But let's get to the review. Barricade stands at a similar height to most deluxes these days, and he comes up about even to his last night self. I don't want to be that guy who's like, I remember when deluxes were £10 and twice as big. Barricade has some nice colours on him. His black's lovely, there's a subtle sort of gunmetalish streak running across his chest. He's got a nice gold face that pops out, harkens back to his on-screen appearance. I do wish that the purple on his head fins came out a little more. It's not quite as easy to see on that black plastic. For the most part, his robot limbs are decked out in this kind of flat greyish lilac. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but it is showing his sculpted detail quite nicely. However, where things get really nice is below the waist. Barricade's packing some gorgeous purple gams. It harks back to the Power of the Prime's Dinobots from a short while ago. You know how they had clear plastic, but on one side of it was painted like metallic? Well, it's the same kind of deal here. We've got clear purple plastic for his legs, or the windows of his alt mode, but behind it's been painted silver, and it really looks amazing. Being a Siege fella, you can of course have the usual assortment of extra parts should you feel like giving him an upgrade. He's also able to accommodate Battlemaster effects should you wish to mimic weapon fire, or maybe some blaster impacts. And I gotta say, that's one of my favourite parts about recent Transformers, these little bits. But that's enough of his robot mode. How does his car mode stack up? As transformations go, it's pretty neat. Not really what you'd expect for your average car bot. You know how like hood goes up over the head, arms by the side, legs fold back behind him. Now they go a little bit of a different direction. His car hood like pulls out of his spine like some sort of weird chiropractor's nightmare. Everything smushes together real nicely. The first thing you'll notice about the vehicle mode is that it is quite different from his line mates in Siege. Almost everything else is sculpted detail packed onto every available surface, and that's lacking in Barricade, but I don't think he's really worse off for it. You do still see the detail underneath the clear plastic in his window, and the sleekness very much suits his sort of like cool evil vibe. In vehicle mode, guns can be mounted on his hood, or not. There is also a light bar on his roof which can be removed should you wish to plug another gun in there. Speaking of guns plugged into the hood, it looks like a Bond car, which I think is fantastic. Also, another thing that he doesn't quite have in common with his mates in the Siege line is the painted paint scratches. They're not quite as intrusive as other toys, where they'll either be caked all over or just really coat the shins of their robot mode. That's not happening with Barricade. It's quite nicely done. He rolls pretty well, which is kind of what you expect for a robot with a car mode. Also, you'll notice the Cybertronian text on his door does actually say police, something that's also been done in the Micromasters in the Siege line, I assume because AC/AB was too short and Punish and Enslave was too long. On the whole, I'd say Barricade is a lovely lad who homages some really good concept art with some real sweet colours. Does he look a bit too much like Prowl? Maybe, but I suppose that does come with the territory when you share a job and an alt mode with one of the most famous pigs in Transformers history. If you feel he does look a bit too much like Prowl or Bluestreak, there is the option of changing up his weapon configuration, so instead of mounted on the shoulders, they can be held as a gun, just in case. Barricade's got a very decent range of posability. He's articulated in all the relevant points. His head's even on the ball joint as well, and he also shares that commonality with other Siege toys where his ankles are articulated into next week so he can do all kinds of splits. Fully transformed though, his feet do end up like tucking underneath him along with his shins, so he looks like he's doing a strange robotic impression of Michael Jackson. But I won't let little foibles like that put you off. Overall, he's a very decent lad and I recommend picking him up even if you've got Prowl. the chance to get a classics version of the likes of Barricade doesn't really come along very often, and I'm really pleased to see him becoming a part of wider canon. And it's got me very hyped for Earthrise Smokescreen as well. So, pick him up if you have the chance. I've been Cybertron Bob, and stay tuned for more Transformers reviews.